Hello. How are you, Lou?
Not bad,
Not
Trent.
bad. You
Not
good?
bad, not bad. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, actually, why do people say not bad?
Not bad.
Like not something.
Exactly. That's sort of saying we're bad, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
No, you say,
We are
yeah,
good.
we are good. We're feeling a lot better than what we have been. I think
That's
the
true.
energies have been changing.
Mm,
I know we've talked about the June energies.
yeah.
So
Wow.
we're kind of smack bang in the middle of June when this one comes out.
Oh,
So
goodness.
I think it's going to be a big turning point, June. I don't know why, but it just feels like things are going to start changing.
I think for a lot of people, in a lot of ways,
Yes.
I feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, we
Anyway,
are the tarot dealers.
we are the tarot dealers.
Yes, so between the two of us, we've got over 50 years experience reading tarot, teaching tarot, talking tarot,
Writing books,
writing books.
creating modalities, having a podcast,
Exactly.
so many things,
Yeah.
which today,
Yes, this is our
this
last
is our last
for
episode
this
for this
series.
series.
We've reached the 100.
We have
So
reached
we
another,
went, okay, I think we deserve a break.
have a little
We're going
holiday.
to have a little break. We will be better. We'll be back,
Yeah, we
bigger
will.
and better. We'll be back.
We will.
We're just going to shut this series off for the moment and just gather some more information, gather more stuff to talk about.
We are. So
Without,
yeah,
yeah,
so we're going to have a bit of a break. So
yes.
we will get
So
into the last episode, and what a very, very fitting way to
exactly.
start with the last episode.
Yes. So
So it looks like Trent's going to draw a
I'm
card
going to draw
first.
the
So we'll do
card
that and
before,
then talk about
then we
that.
tell you what we're going to do.
Yeah, then we'll tell you what we're going to do.
So what is it we need to keep in our awareness or our focus for this last episode of the series? Of the series. Remember that. It's of the series.
For the tarot
For the
dealers.
tarot dealers. What is it we need to know? What do we need to keep in our awareness? It's, a,
Oh, you can't make this
it's
shit
the
up.
two of
Seriously.
wands.
Fucking hell. And it'll make sense in a moment.
It will. But I know we're talking about the last episode, but I think this is also allowing us to plan.
Yeah,
It's
and that's what
with the
it's
two of
saying,
wands,
isn't
it's the
it? The
planning.
plan,
You
yeah.
know, we've decided that, we need to take a step back. We need to take just for our own benefit. We've got a lot of other stuff going on behind the scenes that we need to take care of and other courses
It's
and
life, really, isn't it?
yeah,
And all the things that we do. So,
exactly. Yes. So we're just going to take a step back. And this card is so funny that this is coming out the two of wands that we're taking a step back and planning for the next stage.
and he holds the
And he
world
holds the
in
world.
the palm of his hand. So he's
Yeah,
actually thinking about where you're going to go next, what your next
exactly.
step is.
What the next
Where
step
is
is.
this going to take us? So
Yeah,
for both Trent and I, it's very much about where's the next step and how are we going to put ourselves out there and where are we going to put ourselves.
exactly.
For the collective, it's and for our listeners, it's very much about great, you've got all this information from listening to us.
Yeah.
Are you going to use it?
What are you going to do
What are
now?
you going to do with it?
How are you going to use it? How are you going to put it into practice?
Into practice. Yeah, such a
Yeah.
fitting fucking card. Unbelievable. And because it is the last episode of this season,
Yeah,
we've chosen to do a deep dive on the very last major arcana,
exactly.
which is
The world,
the world.
which is really funny because he's holding the world.
Very, very funny. So, anyway, we will get into that. So, yeah, it's the last card of traditional decks. And I'll talk about something else
Yes,
shortly,
later.
but yeah, traditional decks. So it indicates here, and we're using the Rider Waite deck for
Yeah,
those that are listening. And as you look at that card, you'll see around that there's this dancer in the middle, like she's known as the world dancer. And then what runs around her is this big wreath, right? So that lets us know that we've gone full circle.
and being successful at it.
Being successful at it,
Yeah,
absolutely. So we've completed a certain level of growth. So if you think about, or this is what the card is
yeah,
is talking about. So if you think about how we start with the fool, which is the zero with
yeah.
no knowledge and the moment before conception, and then we end with the world, that's like a whole
That's a whole
journey,
journey, isn't
isn't
it?
it? That
Yeah,
that the fool has gone through and grown and become all of the major arcana along the way, or grabbed elements
yes,
of that to have that better down as his lessons and learnings. So the world is, yeah, we've completed that, ready for the next level or
Next
layer.
level.
So
It is.
that's what that's talking about.
Yeah.
The card itself can mean closure or completion of something,
Yeah.
right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It is. Well, if it's the last card, of course it's going to be an ending, isn't it? But
absolutely,
then
yeah.
it's also a start. Or
It's also a
so
start, yeah.
yes.
And it can be the world stage. So it might be the message, again, depending on the cards around it, can also be about like getting on the stage, getting noticed, getting the
Yes.
recognition that you need, like up front and center.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've learned through my journey is sometimes this card will show when I'm dealing with someone who deals or works in the arts or is on stage. So whether they're an actor, a singer, a
Yeah.
dancer, like they're literally on the stage, being the world stage. That's what I've learned.
good.
So it's about the large exposure,
Yes.
right? So lots of exposure, achievement, fulfillment, end of a journey can also be world travel. So if the question was asked, like, am I going to travel, blah, blah,
But
blah,
yeah,
then that would be, yeah,
of course you
absolutely
are.
overseas,
Yes.
right? It's not in a state. This is overseas stuff. So it's the world. So yes, we're ready for the next level if you're drawn this card,
Yes.
right? Now the wands that this dancer holds here give us balance and duality. See how that's balanced out there? Yeah, so we get
Yes.
balance and duality out of that. It's like finding
It's
that right.
it's sort of coming from temperance when you're doing like this, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So, and she's finally found that balance. Yes. Or
Absolutely.
you have finally found the balance.
Yeah, it's like the embodied wisdom.
Yes.
You know, we were talking before about
Yeah.
all the fool's learnings, right? So
Yeah.
it is the embodied wisdom. So let me have a look. What else have I got? It lets us know that we're doing a good job too. Like the
Yeah.
world says, yeah, no, you're doing
Yeah.
a good job.
It's almost like you're being noticed for what you're doing, isn't it?
Absolutely. So
Being seen.
being seen, yes,
Yes.
being seen. Yeah. So it's about evolution. Absolutely. It's about yeah, growth.
Mm.
Now these little red things,
A little red ribbon.
little red
Yeah.
ribbons, right? They look like a figure eight, like well, essentially that's what they are. So it speaks into the energy that we have.
Yeah.
It speaks about the passion of that because it's red and the groundedness of that. It's also like the as above, so below, right? So that sits in here. So that's there. What else have we got about that? Let me see. That's how I see that anyway. That purple sash that runs across her body, yeah, kind of runs around. It doesn't cover all of her because she's certainly not modest, is
No,
she?
she's not
certainly
modern,
out
no.
there.
She's front and center.
She is front and center, and that's some words I would use for the world card, the front and center. But it can speak about the embodiment of your intuition if you think about the color purple,
Yeah.
right? And what that actually means. Um, it's the embodied thing. It also was known as a really real and royal color. It's really real.
Yes, it is.
So it can speak to that part of oneself,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So your ascendant
I was going to say
status.
raising yourself up, aren't you?
Absolutely raising yourself up. Yeah, yeah. So that's what that is. So the nudity, right, can be vulnerability. It can be an innocence in some ways, but it's definitely freedom.
Oh, definitely freedom, yes.
Absolute freedom, right? And comfortable in your own skin is the other thing because she's just there going,
She's
this
just,
is who I am.
exactly.
Very comfortable. Let me have a look. Now these four heads in each corner, right? They definitely represent the growth and the learning along the way. But here's something that I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I suppose I have at some point come across this, but because I'm not religious per se, I don't use it. But when we look at the religious symbols on here, it is in fact these four guys here in the corner. And they speak to the four horsemen.
Really?
Yeah, the four
Oh, I
evangelists.
did not know
Yeah, the
that.
four horsemen, the four evangelists. So they are Matthew is the man, Mark is the lion, Luke is the calf, and John is the eagle.
Wow, did not know that.
Neither did I, because I don't tend to
No,
follow
don't
any
follow
kind
that.
of religious
No,
stuff. So
no.
faith I do, but not religion,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
So that was interesting. Now we look at her body. posture, right? And there's some, when I was researching some of this, like apart from my own knowledge, I like to dig around and see what
Exactly. Yeah.
others
See what
talk
else?
about.
Yeah.
And someone had written that it was very much like the Fool. It was the same body posture as the Fool. And I'm like,
I don't think so.
oh
Is it?
no, I think the openness
Oh,
is,
maybe the openness,
but
but
that's kind of it. And I'm
it's not
like,
the posture though. It's
no.
not.
So I'm like, I'm going to find that Fool card
Yeah.
just to compare it because I just remembered that then, that that's what they were saying.
There he is. It's no.
Yeah, so
I
it's
suppose at like you said, the openness.
the openness of the arms and
Yeah.
that, I think,
But
but not
no,
necessarily
completely
exactly the same.
no.
So I didn't necessarily agree with that.
No.
I felt that that body posture was more about I'm open
I
to,
think that's probably more to the
yeah,
point. And like you said, the naivety of both
yeah,
shows up in both.
yes, it
Yeah.
does. It certainly does. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, the open-heartedness and based on spirituality for
Yes.
that openness.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's about understanding the self-experience.
Yeah.
No fucking idea here, but
Yeah,
self-experience, yeah, right?
like Lou said, you've been through the journey. You've
Yeah,
started at the field and you've gone through all the major arcana, learning all those lessons, gaining all that wisdom, and then you're going to start again.
yeah, yeah, you're going to start again.
Yeah.
So some questions to ponder for
Yeah.
the world. In what ways do you show up more worldly?
Oh, okay. For yourself.
Yeah, for
For
oneself,
yourself.
right? When
Yeah.
you're looking at that, in what ways do you show up more
More
worldly?
worldly.
So have a bit of a ponder and a think about
Yes.
that. Because I think for like Tren and
Yeah.
I, it was putting ourselves out on the
Well, yeah,
podcast
exactly. We're being, front and center, aren't we?
and getting out a lot more. Yeah, that's I feel
I
how
think that's what we've done, isn't it?
what
Because
we've done. Yeah.
this is not, well, this is completely out of our comfort zone. We've really pushed ourselves out of our comfort zones because this is not normal for us.
No, and I wouldn't want to stay the same. Like
No,
if it's anything that my life has taught me, it's that to stay comfortable is actually to me,
boring.
well, not only boring, but it represents stagnation. That's
Yeah,
how I see it. I don't want to be
yeah,
stagnant. Like I want to grow, I want to learn more, I want to be out there, I want to share the joy that I
yes,
get from tarot with the rest of the world,
exactly.
right? Because my
Yeah,
passion about it is it's a complex system, but it doesn't have to be
be complicated.
complicated,
Yeah,
right? I'll uncomplicate that for you
yes, yeah,
easily, right? And yet you'll still gain a real depth of knowledge.
yeah,
So, and be able to dive deep and learn how to do that. That's been what I've wanted
yeah,
to share,
exactly.
so.
Yeah,
But one of the other things is, and it's to do with like what Tren just said,
yeah.
right? Which is, so the question is, what is keeping you off the world stage? So what is keeping you small?
What is blocking you?
Yeah,
What
or
is,
what is
yeah,
blocking you, right?
yeah,
So is something blocking you,
yeah,
or do you just take a run and dive? Like once upon a time, I would have had to have known all of the details about how to do a podcast and
exactly.
how to show up and have all the outfits and all the lights and all
Exactly.
wonderful things.
Yeah,
And is that important? Yes, I
yeah,
believe it's important, but it wasn't necessary. So it was my learning in being out there was just do it.
just be yourselves.
Just be yourself, go and
Yeah,
do it.
yeah,
The rest will sort itself out.
exactly.
And that's
That's what's
exactly
happened, isn't it?
how it's been.
Yeah.
And because it's not like we're not scripted.
Exactly.
And I find that to be more authentic and listening to other podcasts,
Yeah. You've got to let it flow the
you
way it's
got
going to
to
flow.
And that's what I love about the podcast world
Yeah,
is that most people actually just let it flow and they
yeah,
just go in
yeah,
and do the thing and
yeah,
share what they love or ask questions to inspire
exactly.
curiosity.
Yeah.
So this is what I've loved about
Yes.
doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to our next
Next
series.
series.
And maybe we'll put a little more structure, maybe we
Maybe
won't.
don't.
I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
See how that plans out.
See, yeah, because we're going to plan it, right? You
Yes.
did see that. We are going to plan,
We are
right?
going to plan.
loosely, yeah.
We might
However,
deviate and
we never deviate.
we never go off on tangents. No, we don't do that.
Never's a very strong word. Yeah. Anyway, so this is what we've been talking about,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to share because in my opening statement, I said that
Yeah.
the world is the last card of a traditional
Yeah.
deck,
Yes.
last major card of a traditional
Of a
deck.
traditional deck. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot more newer decks that are coming out that are a little more aligned with the way the world is
Yeah,
today. And I'm
today,
not
yeah.
saying that right away it's not, because it absolutely is a
Mm.
lot. It's been this, I don't know, when they created that, holy shit, you
They
know.
didn't know what they were creating, did
I
they?
don't think they knew what they were creating.
Yeah.
No, because here we are all these years later.
Still using their format.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And all of these other cards that are coming out, which are just a little more aligned with the shifts in energies
Yeah.
now. And you think about it, like these were created, was it when Pluto was,
It was something like that, wasn't it?
yeah,
It was major transit.
Pluto was in Capricorn
Yeah.
or something, like, and now that's changed.
Yes.
And of course the energies are different and everything feels different, right? I'm
Yeah.
noticing that. And we're
Yeah.
only at the very, very beginning. So how society looks today and how the world is today is going to be very different come the end of that.
Exactly. This is
transit.
quite a big transit though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that one, there's a couple of different transits
Yeah.
going on, and we're not astrologers, so
No.
we really know what the fuck we're talking about in terms of that.
But
However, we just know a little bit,
yeah.
right? So just sharing that
Yeah.
little bit, but leading into how the decks can change. Now, we've both got the Dreamy Moons tarot, and I just thought I'd show the world on this one. It's a little hard to see, so the photo will probably
yeah.
be better.
Yeah.
But in the corner, we do not have the animals.
Yeah.
We have the elements.
Which that does these do represent the element,
They do.
but this is more obvious, isn't it?
Very obvious about
Yeah.
what's what and who's
Yeah.
who in the zoo.
Yes.
If we look at it that way. The other things are kind of similar, but not. She still has the purple sash. She still has
The wands or the
wands.
buttons. Yeah.
Her posture with her legs is still the same, but
There's a lot more red on that.
there.
On
Well,
the I don't know, it's quite a wreath. Yeah, it is a wreath.
it is a wreath,
Still kept the wreath,
but it's got lots of growth on
yeah,
it.
it's more growth and
There's none of this. There's none of the red ribbon per se.
it
It's
seems more like
bits
yeah.
of growth. Very hard to see. The
Yeah.
picture will be much
Yeah.
better that Tren will take,
Yes.
because that's what she's in charge of. Yeah, so she'll do that. But why I raised this particular
The Dreamy
tarot
Moon
deck,
ones,
the
yeah.
Dreamy Moon Tarot, is because the world is not the last card
No.
in that deck. It has two additional cards, and I'll just share them with you. I know we've spoke about them
We have,
briefly,
yes.
but we have, where am I? This one first, which is the self, which
Which
is
is the
like a
mirror.
mirror, right? So definitely talking about the reflection. And I'm just gonna read what they are in a
Yes.
second. And then we have the
Is it the flower of love?
Now that pattern, being the flower of life, is what connects us all together energetically. It's absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful. So let's look at the self. So for the self, we'd be looking at things like the ego, introspection, and what your story is, right? Now that's interesting, the word story.
Yes. What we tell ourselves.
What we tell ourselves. What is it the studies or the research shows, I feel that the stories that we tell ourselves are probably only 50% correct. So we're running around with this other 50% that isn't even fucking true.
Yeah, we're making up as we go along
Making up as we
sometimes.
go along, and it alters as we go, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So how true to your story are you is one thing.
Yeah.
So questions for this. What do you see when you look at yourself? Yeah.
Can you look at yourself?
Or can you look at
Can you?
yourself?
That's a
Oh
big,
my
that's a
God,
big, that's a big one.
question.
Can you look at
Can
yourself?
you look at yourself? Because the self card is about you as a person, your genetics, ancestry, the way you were brought up, and the personality traits and beliefs you developed throughout the years. Access your past experiences and reflect on how they shaped you as a person. The answer you seek is hiding within. Yeah, it's very much hiding within.
Yeah.
So this is a call for introspection and time for you to be with yourself. Right. And
Yes.
I really feel like these are so fitting, I feel, for the end of the tarot, because once you've done the world journey, right, it is a time to
You need to
reflect.
take time, don't you?
Have a
You
look.
need to
What did I
take
learn?
time.
Where am I
Yeah.
at? Is that mine? Do I still believe that? Is that even
Exactly.
true? Like
Yeah.
all of those questions. How am I projecting myself out there? Right. All of these
Yeah.
questions. So I think it's a really fitting card. And then, of course, when we move to the flower of life, I think this is a true ending card,
I
eh?
think so.
So it speaks about sacred geometry, the universe, and creation, because that's what the flower of life is, right? And we're all connected together.
Whether we like it or not, we are connected.
Yeah, whether we like it or not. So the affirmation for this one is I am at one with the universe. We are all one.
Yeah.
Very true,
Yeah.
right? So this card is the opposite of the self card. It's a sign to step away from your ego and detach from everything that forms your identity, which is what we need to get back to, right? Because you go
Yes.
through all the shit, you learn all the things, you have a look at
Yeah.
what you've learned, and you say, okay, let's start fresh.
Exactly.
Detach from everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the flower of life is the blueprint for creation. It has existed for thousands of years, reminding us of the unity of everything. We are one, and the same life force flows through your best friend and your worst enemy. We are all connected on the global scale. If you suffer, we all
We
suffer.
all, yeah.
Yeah. Treat others exactly how you want to be treated, with love, warmth, and compassion. This card also signifies a period in your life where your connection with the divine is especially potent. So make
Yeah.
sure to get out of your head and truly into spirit.
Into spirit.
Now, really, really, really interesting, because in a way, this card is telling you to get the fuck back to basics.
Yeah. Well, and make sure you're connected.
Absolutely. Get back to
Yeah.
basics,
Yeah.
because the basics, or yeah, basically are about connecting to source
To
itself,
source.
which is you. You are your soulful
Yes.
self, right?
Yeah.
So interesting.
It is very interesting. And because
Mm.
I just recently found a meditation that I've been doing, and it talks about connecting to the crystal grid when you've done, and that's exactly what
That's
I
what that is.
see.
Yeah, it's a
And it
crystal
is the
grid,
crystal
right?
grid. And yeah, but connect, and until Lou explained it, I didn't realize the crystal grid is us.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Yeah, yeah. That's who we are, right?
Yeah.
And funny, because I was listening, I didn't mean to cut you off
No,
then.
yeah.
Um, I was listening to something about chakras the other day, and like whether you believe in them or you don't, but they've done MRI scans. I think it's MRIs, I might be
Yeah.
wrong, but they've done some kind of fucking imagery anyway.
Yeah.
And what they've discovered is at the points where the chakras are meant to be with our
Yeah.
etherical body and all that, but in line with our physical body, all of these nerve endings come together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm like,
Oh,
I'm
oh my
loving,
God. Yes, it's
loving
proof.
that this shit is like,
Yeah.
we've got the science back in the woo-woo that, those of you who potentially been
Yes.
following this for a long time know to be true. And
Yeah.
now all this shit is actually, here it is.
Yeah.
So I'm fascinated by it all. I cannot wait to see where all
Oh,
of that
there's a
takes
tape.
us,
Yeah.
which is absolutely, what am I looking for? Just borrow trends for a second.
Yeah.
The
This, the
world,
world.
we are leveling up to the next thing, because we've learned all the things, well, not learned all the things, but we've gone through that whole
That
process,
stage.
that stage,
Yeah.
and here we are ready to go, work with new energy, working with potentially new creative decks that are coming
Exactly.
through, that
Exactly.
are a little bit more representative of our openness in terms of our collective consciousness.
Exactly. And it's funny you mentioned science before, because I was doing a little bit of research on the world, and I found some combinations.
Oh,
And it's from a website called How Stuff Works Science.
Ah, okay.
And
I
so,
love how the shit comes
yeah,
together.
it's really funny. And because if we look at the world, if the world and the hermit come together, which is really, and it's like what we're talking about is the exciting journey of self-discovery and inner explanation. So
Well,
we
there you go,
say,
right? Yeah.
embrace a period of reflection. Exactly what Lou's just been talking about. and given the insight from your spiritual journey.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
Insights into your spiritual journey.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then if like we've got the world and the fool, it's the theme of travel, adventure, and the
Of
importance of
course.
planning, which is really funny.
Funny because that's the card we pulled, the number 2 of 1s, right?
And it's also the exciting adventures that we ourselves put ourselves on.
Mm.
You don't have to go traveling overseas. Every day is an adventure. Every day we're learning something new.
And today with the technology, we can have a virtual adventure.
Exactly. Yes.
That's pretty amazing.
And then if we go the world and the lovers, if they turn up together, it's a beautiful journey of love. It does not have to be a romantic relationship. It's just a journey of love. And that can be within yourself again.
Nice. I like that.
It represents a passionate relationship that is founded on trust and mutual understanding.
Mutual understanding.
Mutual
Yeah,
understanding.
There's a lot of that lacking,
Oh, there is,
so to have
yes.
that come back is great.
And it's also nurture and strengthen your relationships. What does it say? Can't read my writing.
That's usually
Well,
my
yeah,
trick.
fostering a sense of harmony and unity with those you hold dear.
Oh,
You know,
nice.
so if those couple of cards come up with the world, look deeper. It's not that try not to make them separate, bring them together.
Yeah, so that'll actually
Yeah.
help you connect that story.
Yeah.
And also, speaking of stories,
Yeah.
that actually hopefully helps you guys in your storytelling process and
Yeah.
how you can connect them
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, so it's just and like we've been doing research and I've never found this website before.
Oh, there
And
you
it's
go.
like
How
it's
stuff
funny how
works.
you it's just science and this is like
Yeah,
science and stuff.
Oh my goodness. Well, there you go.
So thank you very much for all your support and
Yeah.
love and your likes and shares and talking about us and everything. And we hope we've given something back to you.
We do hope we've given something back to you.
Yes.
Without you guys,
This doesn't happen.
this doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So
So we are eternally grateful. So thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you.
So get ready for the
And
next season.
Next season,
We'll just take a short break.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take a break.
we'll take a break.
We'll take a
Just
break.
look out. We'll let you know when we're coming back.
We will. We'll put it all on our socials.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah.
And if you've got any ideas or anything you want to know about, contact us. You can email us on the taradiddles@gmail.com or through our socials, Instagram, Facebook. Let us know. If you want to know more about the world, we'll do it.
Absolutely. All right.
But again, thank you.
Yeah. So
Thank
from
you.
our hearts
Yes.
to yours, big love. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you next season.
See you later.
Bye.